Okay, we're here at the research facility in Black Earth, Wisconsin. I'm Larry Feeney from Planet Earth Agronomy, and I'm here with Jeremy, our agronomist. We're going to talk a little bit about what we're finding in our soybean starter trials. We have started about 3 years ago, we started evaluating starter fertilizer on beans because we had some really good data from the University of Wisconsin that showed some strong yield results where they had put starter fertilizer on beans. And we know it's a concern. We have to be careful with it because we don't want to plant in a drought condition or a dry, super dry year and get the beans to start to sprout and then in the soil and then not have enough water to imbibe to continue their germination process because they can dry out and die off on us. So we're careful to make sure we check for moisture when we plant. This year was the driest year in probably, I don't know, maybe 20 years that we had for planting conditions, but we still had really good emergence. The beans really came up nice. The product that we use has a microbial in it that has 8 different microbes, and one of those microbes that's in there is the rhizobia that we put on in the starter, so we don't have to inoculate our beans. And we had really good nodulation on our beans this year. We broke most of the roots off and we pulled these out of the ground, but we were mainly looking at where the pods were set. We really want our pods to set up at least 6 inches from the soil line, because that way when our combine comes through we can get all the beans, and we really want the majority of our beans to be in the middle part of the plant. At late season here, we're really happy because our beans are pretty healthy late season. They had a good root system under them because of that pop-up that we put on. We put that on at 4 gallons. We would like to stay down at 2 gallons. That's really what we like to do, but the planter that we used didn't have the ability to drop back into that 2 gallon range, so we planted at 4 gallons. But late season here with all the root system and a nice healthy plant, we're getting some development at the top of the plant that's going to be harvestable beans. As we look down across here, we look at the internodes. These are nice. We've got great clusters here, and we're finding quite a few. Here's a 4-beaner, here's a 4-beaner. We're finding quite a few 4-bean pods on these beans this year, which we didn't expect based on the dry conditions that we had. We went a long time, 7 weeks without a drop of rain, 11 weeks with hardly any rain here in this part of the world. So we had very good sunshine though. Beans love sunshine. They lap that up. They use that, of course, in photosynthesis to produce the sugars and the building blocks of life. And so they are, the beans were really healthy late season. We could have probably done a little better job of knocking out the Japanese beetles in here. That's what I'm noticing the most as far as yield potential issues. Jeremy, what about you? What do you think about the plant you're looking at?
Yep, I think overall plant health looks really good. Kind of like back to what Larry said, a lot of clusters, a lot of 5 cluster beans there that are all on each node until you get towards the top of the plant. So yeah, all overall very healthy. We're starting to see a lot more beans up towards the top of the plant holding on, which a lot of times you will get a few of those to drop off later on in the season, but we're adding a few pods to the tops of the plant, which will obviously add onto the yield too.